All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And welcome to another episode of Ask Dr. Dang. And of course, I'm Dr. Dang. All right. Thank you. Thank you. And welcome again to Ask Dr. Dang. Our next letter comes from Donald, who lives in Billings, Montana. And he says, Dr. Dang, I am a vegetarian living out here in what seems to be cattle country. Everybody looks at me as if I am from another planet when I tell them I don't eat meat. Can you help me? Well, of course I can. As you know, as obviously Donald knows, I am a vegetarian. Haven't always been a vegetarian. In fact, I grew up in one of the biggest meat-eating families you'll ever come across. It's just the way it was. Meat and potatoes. The more meat, the better. And, bacon and steak, you name it. We ate more meat than anything by far. And what happened with me was, by the time I was in college, I started thinking, I don't think I really need to eat that much meat anymore. It just was something that was kind of got to be a little bit strange to think about eating, dead animal. It just didn't suit me. As the years went on, I began to get more educated and found out the awful, just despicable, unacceptable, crazy, insane way these corporations inhumanely treat these animals. It's just unbelievable, and it certainly is for me unacceptable to take part in perpetuating this awful treatment. I know some people think, I think they have more humane ways of killing animals today. Well, I don't know about that. To me, what matters isn't so much the way an animal dies as the way an animal lives. And I can tell you, if you don't already know it, you look into it. These corporations, in order to squeeze out every penny, they are just doing some hideous things to animals. And because they're doing everything they can to squeeze out every nickel, every penny, they're having to do some real Frankenstein type stuff to keep the system going. So they're giving all these, steroids and all these antibiotics and all this crud. So not only are these animals being treated awful, and not only is just eating meat, period, not really good for you, now when you eat meat, you're taking in all this other junk that they're having to give these poor animals because they're doing this in such an unnatural, sick way. So number one reason why I could never ever go back to being a meat eater is that I could never participate in this awful way that animals are being treated. Number two, for my own health, there's just no way I want that garbage in my system, period. And number three, I do not wish to do anything that's going to perpetuate the continuation of the way these animals are treated and these corporations that are involved with this. I just have no use for these really sick SOBs. Okay, I'm going to just say it. They're just awful. Anybody that makes their living off of that is just, I do not want to give them one red cent. Okay, number four is the amount of resources, and I'm talking water and land, to raise beef, even in these hideous, cramped, awful conditions, is amazing. It's like almost one swimming pool of water to create a pound of meat. That's ridiculous. And it raises the price of all the food because this amazing amount of water and land that it takes to just raise just a little bit of meat. It's just unreal. And the amount of methane and gases exacerbate even further the CO2 problem that we're having here with global warming. It's just unreal. The raising of meat, cattle, pork creates more CO2 in the atmosphere than all the cars on the face of the earth, all the transportation, all of it, the ships, you name it, all of it does not match how much goes into the air, that the CO2 from the raising of meat, and then the land that's cleared and stripped so that we can have more of it. And folks, I'm going to tell you something. In the near future, meat is going to get extremely expensive, as well as all our other food, because the other food is taking a back seat. So the cost is being passed on through the other food, the good food, more sensible food. So even if you don't participate in this insanity of eating meat, you're still paying a high price with what's happening to the environment as well as what you pay for other foods. So when people look at me like I have 10 heads because I am a vegetarian, look how long it took me to tell you this. You can't just say it in a sentence. You can't just sum it up so quick. So, it is a challenge. And number two, people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They like their meat, whatever. They think they can't have a sandwich. There's tons of food out there. You don't need meat. You just don't. I get my vitamin B. I have soy. I got plenty of protein. I'm healthier than anybody who eats meat, hands down. There's just no way around it. So when you're like, oh God, you're going to be unhealthy. I get this. It's like, oh, please give me a break. Educate yourself. All right. If I had to just put it on a bumper sticker, and I've actually had some shirts and bumper stickers made up for this, is just to say meat. You won't miss it. That's it. Bottom line, makes cooking easier. You don't have to fuss with all that junk and the grease and all that. You not only don't miss it, life's better. You find that there's all kinds of wonderful things out there, and you just, honest to God, you don't miss it. And your grocery bill goes down, your health improves, and you're no longer being part of this awful, just beyond crazy, insane, sick situation we have going with this inhumanity to animals, as well as the further adding to the destruction of our planet. So anyway, I wish I could offer something a little bit more compact, but that is about as good as I can do, is just to say, just get a shirt that says meat. You won't miss it. And give people who read it something to chew on. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to Ask Dr. Dang. And we'll see you next time on Ask Dr. Dang. Until then, go out and make it a dang good day. Today's audience members were hand-chosen and selected for their enthusiasm and love for Dr. Dang. If you have a question you would like to ask Dr. Dang, go to www.portlandpuppets.com. That's www.portlandpuppets.com and click on the Ask Dr. Dang link. Dr. Dang would love to hear from you. Dr. Dang and his staff would like to thank all those who promote his show. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to having you back next time on Ask Dr. Dang.